Hi everyone, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing fine this fine night. The dinner was great. That's about a 5 out of 5. So thank you for the dinner. Tonight is going to be a special night because it's comedy night. And our special guest for tonight was here last year. You might all remember her. It was a pretty good show from what I remember. And this one should also be a pretty good show. So, without further ado, let me introduce Nikki.
Thanks everyone. It is so good to be back in Grantville.
Yeah.
I know, this is great. But man, Grantville has grown. I mean, there's like a lot more of you here than there was last year. So, wow, that is amazing. So, just wanted to, let's see, how do I, to start off tonight, let's see. There's this thing that I've been dealing with lately with people thinking I look like someone else, you know, and sometimes you get that one person who, it like ruins your day. They think you look like someone that's you're not a fan of or whatever. And like, for example, for me, a week or so ago, I handed a bag to one of my customers and I said, oh, here, you got it? And the young guy, 20-ish, he's like, oh, yes, sir. Oh, ma'am. And I was like, oh, my day is ruined, you know. Or sometimes, you know, people might mistake his head for a bowling ball, you know, but so shiny. And then we just ruin his day, you know. But once in a while you get that person that says, you know, you remind me of Melissa McCarthy. And, you know, I look up to her. She's a funny lady. I'm like, oh, that just means so much to me. Thank you, you know. But, you know, I just wish my bank account looked like her bank account, you know.
Yeah.
If we could, you know, that would be amazing, you know. So, you know, lately a lot of people are going through a lot of financial tough times, you know, and people have to just pull it together, and they gotta push through a little harder than what they're used to, you know. And like, you know, a lot of families, 2-income families, you know. In our case, we're kind of like a 3-income family. I have 2 jobs. My husband has 1. He can do the second if he wanted to. So, you know, it's like, we'll do what we got to do. And one time we were having this, we had our budget meeting, you know, we're going over the bills. And I'm just like, honey, I really need your help. I really need you to put a little bit more effort. Now, you know, sometimes I play the lottery once in a while. You never know. You can't win if you don't play, you know. And sometimes I'll go for those sweepstakes. You know, let's enter the sweepstakes. Maybe we'll win by that, you know. So we're having this meeting, and I'm like, can't you help me a little bit? You know, pick up a couple of orders. And he goes, I'm entering the sweepstakes every day. He's trying, he's helping. So, okay, I appreciate your helping with that, you know. And more recently, you know, with the hurricane that just came through. I mean, I hope everyone, you know, you all survived, so that's a good thing, you know, but I'm hoping, you know, you didn't have a whole lot of damage. You know, I know a lot of people lost power for days and days. We were out for a while. We lost everything from our freezers, most from our fridge. I'm talking to my dad one day and just like, yeah, we lost everything. We kept that freezer closed, you know, the whole 48 hours, and it went past that, so we're like, toss it, you know, it was all thought out. And he goes, I think I want to help you guys financially. I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. He goes, I think I'm gonna buy you some Spam. And I just start laughing. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, Dad, nice joke, you know. And he's like, no, I'm serious. I can get you some Spam. And I'm just, Dad, no one eats Spam, you know. And he had good intentions. He tried, but I had to tell my mom, I have no power. I'm not gonna try Spam cold for the first time. And you know, but I'm just like, I think with my second job, I've never purchased Spam for anyone. And at the grocery store, maybe 5 times I have rung up a can of Spam, you know. So I'm like, we don't eat Spam down here like tuna fish, you know, or something, you know. But you know, I think some people though, they have it a little tougher than us. I just feel so bad for them. Now you might have seen, I've seen it on plenty of houses, they have these plaques on their house, and some say, welcome, you know, so pretty. It makes me want to go into their house and visit, you know, whatever. But the ones that I'm concerned about, the ones that really trouble me, are the ones that say, home. Why do you have home on your house? Okay, do you not know where you live? Do you not know that's your house, that's your home, that's not work, that's not school, that's your home, you know? Imagine pulling up to the building and sitting there and thinking, wait, I was supposed to go home. Oh wait, home, I'm here, you know? So it's just like, you know, okay, I feel bad for you guys, you know, but, and I think it's those people. I ran into one of them at Hobby Lobby. Now you guys know what Hobby Lobby is, right?
Yeah.
The craft store, humongous store, it's got everything imaginable. And I went in there one time, and I cross stitch all the time. Who here cross stitches? Anyone cross stitch? All right, yeah, a couple people here, cool. That store's so big, I never can remember what corner it's in, you know, and I am not about to walk that store looking for the corner. So I go up to an associate and I said, hey, can you tell me where the cross stitch stuff is? And she's like, oh yeah, it's over in the craft section. Wait a second, which one? Isn't this whole store a craft section? You know, I mean,
it's not in the part that sells doormats that says home on them. It's not that part.
I know, yeah. I'm just like, can you be a little more specific? You know, which craft section? And it kind of reminds me, like, you know, Publix at the grocery store. You don't, you know, maybe it's a new store to you. You don't know where the coffee is. Hey, where's the coffee? It's in the grocery section.
Yes.
Which aisle? You know, which one? So, now I work there, and I know last year when I was here, I told you guys and found out I was the only one who works retail. So I work there, and they want us to emphasize our feelings a little stronger. So if someone comes up and says, can you help me with this? Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. You know, just, we want the customer to know that we are there for them. We are, you know, Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, you know. But what would happen if we reversed that? Can I take your buggies out? We're supposed to ask everyone, can I take your buggies out? And if they say sure, can I say, well, oh no, sorry, that's for the next joke. And I'm old, so I have to have notes right now. But no, they'll come up to the desk, and we're still not doing rain checks because of the pandemic. And so they'll say, I need a rain check. Can I have a rain check? I'm like, absolutely not. They might say, you know, can you help me find this? Nope, absolutely not. There's no way, you know. You know, you're at the register and you give them the receipt and you're like, you know, thank you so much. Have a great day. I hope to see you guys next time. What about when that card declines? You know, not approved. I am so sorry your card was declined. My deepest sympathies that you're broke. You know?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think it works the same way, you know, going in that opposite direction. But the one thing that gets me too there at the store is, I'll ask them the buggy joke. Can I take your buggy out? And they say, do you mind? You know, honestly, deep down, it's raining outside. Yes, I mind. Or, we live in Atlanta. It's 100 degrees out there. Yes, I mind. I sweat like crazy. I am not walking out this door. But, you know, can't say what I feel. I don't mind, you know, and walk them out the door, you know. And the other one they might ask, you know, like, one thing they'll say, you know, do you want your milk? Or I'll put their milk in the buggy, try to save on bags, you know. And they'll say, oh, do you mind putting that in the bag? Yes, actually, I do mind because we're trying to save plastic bags here. But I just think that do you mind thing's kind of funny because no one can say what they really feel. You know, you gotta go with it. But another phrase that I thought was kind of funny was the phrase, "It's the least I could do." Really? You couldn't do more? So then it makes me question, do you not want to do more? You know, that you don't really want to help at all, but you'll do the least you can do to get by to help out, you know. Did you you know, I just think that's kind of a funny phrase. It's a little bit insulting, you know. Oh, that's the least I could do. I could do more, but nah, I don't want to. You know, I'm good with the least. We're good to move on. So, but and sometimes these customers, I've noticed recently, they have the strangest mannerisms. And the one thing that gets me, it floors me. People will leave their buggies in the middle of the lobby, right in the middle. Now, number one, really 2 steps to put it with the rest? Really? The other thing is, it's in the middle, and everyone else will walk around it, zigzag around it to get to the buggies in the stack, you know. And I'm just like, really? So, you know, if it's you know, not quite pushed in all the way, okay, have that one. I don't know if they think it's not ready, it's not fresh, I don't know, maybe they think it gets recharged once it's pushed in or something, I don't know. You know, yeah, and it's like, all I have to do is push that buggy in, and someone will pick it up, you know, and I'm like, really? You had just walked around that buggy in the middle of the thing, you didn't even wipe anything off, and you took that one. I was like, I don't get these people sometimes, you know, but, you know, it takes all kinds of things. So let's go inside the store for a minute, okay? So there's a certain kind of food that I want to talk about, and I think I've misunderstood its purpose or its meaning or something, and that is regarding foods that have the label thin. Thin Oreos, thin Reese's Cups, thin crust pizza, okay? I've always thought, you know what, I think this is to help me get thin, you know, but it doesn't work, because I end up eating twice as many to make up for what I would have eaten a regular one, you know. So maybe what I'm misunderstanding is just that the thin stuff is for the thin people, and the regular Oreos are for the regular. And now that I say Oreos, I'm just thinking double stuffed Oreos are for people like me, you know. And maybe that's just how it's supposed to be. It's not that it's supposed to help you get thin. It's just, this is for thin, this is for regular, and this is for you doubles, you know, or something. I don't know, but. And speaking of desserts and like Thin Mints, who here loves Thin Mints? Okay, I mean they're great. Now, have you ever thought of this? Thin Mints, Junior Mints, chocolate chip mint ice cream or whatever. They all have 2 purposes. Number one, they're a savory, chocolatey dessert. And they just, you know, that sweet spot, hits your sweet spot in your mouth, it's all great. But it also freshens your breath. So, they say, Nikki, are you eating dessert? Why no, I'm freshening my breath. Or they might say, Nikki, do you need a breath mint? No, I just ate some Thin Mints. I'm good. I just had dessert, so I'm good. But, I think the last thing I want to leave you guys with, and he's my last kid, so it's going to have to be about Max, but we've got a couple moms in here. They think you might understand this, and maybe even the dads a little bit. That first day of school for your kids, it's like a tearjerker. You know, you're like, oh, my baby's going to school, whether it's pre-K3 or 4 or kindergarten or whatever. And some moms cry, you know, they're just, my baby's growing up on me, you know. I cried for Becca, I cried for Sam, I cried for James. So who wouldn't have thought I would cry for Max, you know? Well, I spent 2 years with this boy, and I was ready to hand him to his teacher with a bow. Here he is, have fun, you know. But what surprised me is I got to school that day, and I did cry. But you know what? Not for the reason you think. Okay, I drove up, couldn't go inside now because of COVID. I drive up, they check his temperature. Come on in, Max. And I look over and I see some of the parents of the other students. They graduated with my daughter. I cried. I wept because I felt so old. So I'm crying and weeping and waving to him goodbye, and that was a tough day. The oldest parent in the class. So, but that was it. That was a little quicker, I think. Oh yeah, I know. I was ready to just zoom.